Welcome to Fantasy Baseball, Baseball, Baseball. I'm Dan O'Day along with Steve Romano. Hey, Steve.
How's it going, Dan?
It's going good because baseball is still being played, and I love baseball. I don't know if you know that about me, but I wanted to talk about some of the division races and the wild card races because we got some exciting things still going on.
There's a lot of tight, exciting races going on. There's only 2 weeks left. Like literally, this is the beginning of the next to the last week. So 14 days, and all the teams have either 12 or 13 games remaining.
Wow. And so we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. In the American League East, Toronto has a 4 game lead in the division race over the Yankees, and they don't play each other in the last couple weeks. So, I mean, it's doable, but those 4 games are hard to make up, especially when the team in front of you is 7-3 in the last 10.
Yeah, yeah. And Toronto's just, they've been playing good now for a while. Like seriously, like 6 weeks. I mean, they're playing over, 600 winning percentage for a good stretch. I don't
Absolutely.
see them. I don't see them tailing off enough,
No.
or the Yankees getting hot enough that they can make up 4 games with 12 games to go.
If they were playing each other, a possibility. The Yankees are 6-4 in the last 10, but Toronto the best record in the American League, just to let you know. So Boston 5.5 game backs out of the division race in the Central. It's listen. Detroit is 6.5 games up on Cleveland, but I have to bring up to you, Steve. I noticed, and it's a long shot, but Cleveland has 6 games left with Detroit.
Wow,
Yeah,
6 games left.
they play 6 games Tuesday.
Dang.
Yeah, they play six
I
games
mean, at that point, it's doable. Anything's doable then.
Exactly. If they win the 6 games, they're 6.5 back right now. It's all Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. They're at Detroit this week and in Cleveland next week. So, 6.5 games back. They're 9-1 in their last 10 and won their last 4 games. So the Indians, they're going for it. Like they're like, hey, if we sweep this week, we got a chance.
The only thing is, okay, so there's 6 games back in the loss column, right? So I mean, they have to be 6 games better than Detroit, though.
They'd have to win
So
all 6 of those games. They have one more game left because they have a doubleheader
yeah.
against Minnesota, a makeup doubleheader this weekend. So yeah, but listen, if they sweep Detroit in that 6 games, anything's possible. They're 9-1 in their last 10. So I'm just saying, if you're a
Yeah.
Cleveland fan and you're a Cleveland player, you gotta believe.
Sure, and you got exactly what you want. You're
Yeah,
like, we're trailing a team by 6 games in the loss column, and we have 6 games left with them.
yeah.
Let's do it.
I thought that was so interesting. I was like, wow. And there's no other teams matchup in races like that with that many games left. And of course, the closest American League race going on would be the AL West, where Seattle is now a game up on Houston and 3 games up on Texas.
Seattle on a 9-game winning streak.
Woo!
And
So,
I don't know if you heard the story. It's made the rounds up here of the Etsy witch. Have you heard that story?
no, what is the
There,
Etsy Witch story?
well, there's this a girl, a lady on Etsy who sells her wares, and she sells spells. She's like, "Tell me what you want. Here's my payment plan, my price rate, and I will put together a spell and cast the spell for what you want." Well, someone paid her to cast a spell for the Mariners to right the ship and make the playoffs. She sent that person a receipt saying your spell has been cast. The Mariners went on a 9-game winning streak.
Well, there was proof positive right there. That's hilarious. I love that story. Seattle playing well, and Houston 4-6 in the last 10. So the standings have changed a lot in the last 10 games, and now Seattle in the driver's seat. Now, once again, I'm sad. They don't. They have a 3 game series. I'm not sad. They have a 3 game series this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's a big series.
That's a big series. And tonight, Texas and Houston start a 3-game series as
Wow, and
well.
Texas 3 games back, so they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're playing well. They still have some hope. 8 games above 500. So we do definitely have some races going on division wise, a few ones that are possibilities and long shots. And in the National League, it's not as close. The Phillies now 12 games up on the Mets. They're 8-2 in their last 10. The Mets are 2-8 in their last 10. So yeah, 6 game lead
The
became a
Mariners,
12 game
I'm
lead.
sorry, the Mets. Yeah, they just had an 8 game losing streak. And I
Yeah,
think in that 8 game, like I think Philly went 6-2 during their 8 game losing streak.
yeah.
So that that gap widened quick.
My Phillies are playing well. That's my favorite team growing up in Pennsylvania. And of course, we lost Zach Wheeler, to injury for the season. But we do have some pitchers pitching very well. Sanchez and Suarez and Lazardo, three lefties. And our bullpen has been great. So we'll see what we can do. We got some great hitters. We got a great chemistry. As a Philly fan, I'm hopeful. They right now have the second best record in the major leagues. In the Central, we go to the team with the best record. They are 5.5 games up on Chicago. And Steve, they're both 5-5 in the last 10. I'm kind of calling it. I don't see this happening. They don't play each other in the last 2 weeks. I think the Brewers are safe. They already got a playoff. They qualified for the playoff. They haven't won the division, but I think they're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing as hot as they were. I mean, they
No.
definitely have cooled off over the past 2 weeks. That goes without saying, but they're still playing 500 ball. And I don't think I mean, the Cubs really haven't made a move.
Yeah, they're both 5-5, like
Yeah,
I said. I mean, if the Cubs would have went 10-0, they would have made 5 games up. So, but they didn't. And it is over in the Central. In my opinion, anything could happen, of course. There are 12 games left. And then the NL Central, the Dodgers are 2.5 games up on San Diego. And they do not play each other. Actually, Seattle finishes off with the Dodgers. That's very, what? Really? Did I read that right?
I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
like interleagues to start. I don't like interleague to end,
Yeah, Dodgers
like
finished up
season wise.
against Seattle, in Seattle. So
At
the
least it's in Seattle.
yeah, San Diego and the Dodgers both 6-4 in the last 10 games. So it's a tight race, but the Dodgers are opening it up a little, and San Diego 2.5 games, that could be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I San Diego's looked kind of good lately, and the Dodgers have been playing better. And they were playing sub 500 ball, like just under, like like 490 ball for like 2 months, really.
Right?
Um, but it does seem like they've got some players coming around now. Mookie Betts has actually been playing quite well the past few weeks.
Yes, he has. He's nice rebound by Mookie. Dodgers have an extra game, one more game than San Diego to play yet, so that's in their favor. Those are the division races. We got some close ones in the American League and a one in the National League. But when it comes to the wild card race, it's getting a little sticky. In the AL wild card race, the Yankees are up by 2.5, Boston one, and then Houston is now the third wild card team, but Texas and Cleveland are 2 and 2.5 games back.
Yeah, I mean, 12 games to go, 13, some of them yet, 12 or 13. I mean, at that point, I mean, if you really want to make a run, you got to go 7-5, 8-4 in those 12 games.
Well, just to let you know, I mean, think about it. They keep playing how they have been playing. Boston 4-6 in the last 10. Houston 4-6 in the last 10. If Texas goes 7-3 like they have in the last 10, and Cleveland goes 9-1 like they have in the last 10, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if they continue to play like they've been playing the last 10, we could see two teams move up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The main thing is 7-3 over a 10 game stretch. That happens fairly often throughout the season, but 14-6 over a 20 game stretch doesn't happen as often,
Yeah,
you know?
it's going to be interesting. So the
So,
wild card race is tight. I think
y-
Cleveland and Texas are still in it. I really do.
yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I mean, sure, could Texas play 4 games better than Boston over the final 13 or 12? Yes,
Yeah,
easily.
they
Sure.
could.
Because what? So, yeah, if someone goes 6-7 and someone goes 10-3, boom, there you go.
There you
There it
go.
is.
There it is right there. and they beat them by one game. So it is a tight race still. You just gotta if you play 500 ball though, you're probably going to get there. But unless someone goes 9-1 like Cleveland, and then in the NL wild card, we got Chicago 8.5 games up as the number one. San Diego now 5 games up as the number two, and the Mets and they're 2-8 in their last 10, and that big 8 game losing streak before now just 1.5 games up on Frisco, 2 games up on Arizona, and 2.5 games up on Cincinnati.
Yeah. The Mets, as you know, they lost 8 in a row. Four of those was a four-game sweep by the Phillies, and they were plummeting until they finally won yesterday. And yeah, everybody made up some ground. But a week ago when we talked, the team that looked like they were in the best position was Cincinnati.
Right.
But now Cincinnati's been leapfrogged by the Giants and the Diamondbacks. And we kind of wrote the Diamondbacks off like a month ago.
Sure, when they made those trades and got rid of some big contracts who were free agents, absolutely. And get this, San Francisco and Arizona are starting a 3 game series tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
That's big.
yeah, that is big. Same with like Houston and Texas. Same exact scenario, really. You're kind of
Absolutely.
like one of them needs to, just take it. 2-1's good, but 3-0 would be just do it.
For Cincinnati to be 1 game under 500 and Arizona to be at 500 and still technically be in this race. Frisco only 1 game above 500. I mean, if you get hot, you can do this. And if the Mets keep playing 2-8 ball, they're not going to make the playoffs.
No, they had remember they were playing kind of not average for a while, and then they just all fell apart. I mean, they've been playing really bad.
Yeah, they hit a wall, and their pitching has been bad, and their hitting has not been timely. I have a Mets fan who likes to bemoan to me, and I listen because as a Philly fan, I enjoy listening to it. um,
Yeah,
let's go to some stats because we've always been adversaries, Mets and the Phillies. The thing that's interesting to me is we look at some stats real quick. The races are wonderful. We got 2 weeks left. I love that there's actual races. Obviously, the wild card is added to the excitement. Without the wild card, we just got a few interesting races going on if it's just division. So I'm pro wild card. Obviously, 3 teams from the wild card that make it. In batting average, we're back down to earth. Aaron Judge, 325, leads the league.
yeah, he's come down quite a bit. I mean, not that you expect anybody to hit 390 or 380 or 370, especially not a giant Herman Munster looking guy. But 325, yeah, right. I mean, when you think of like a league leader in batting average,
That's
what
about
type of
right.
average do you think of?
I
That's
think
pretty
about
good,
that.
right?
I think that's good. I'd say 315 to 320. I mean, that's a really good year. Um, he batted 322 last year, Steve.
Aaron Judge batted 322 last year as well.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Which was his
He's
highest ever in his life. Before that, it was
so
311,
he's
2 and 22.
so he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like Judge. I'm a fan. I think he's a baseball player. Jacob
Oh
Wilson
yeah,
has, yeah,
totally.
oh, he's a total
Even
baseball player. I mean, he's like,
even as a even
yeah,
as a Red Sox lover, I am very pro on Aaron Judge.
pro Aaron Judge. Absolutely. I love him. Jacob Wilson is now, he's been hitting pretty well lately. He's 318. He was in the 370s the first few months of the season. Dante Bichette batting 311. Trey Turner batting 305. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. 302 and Springer 301. And that is it. 6 guys batting above 300.
Yeah, kind of low. I mean, I know that's for qualified at bats, but and a
Yeah,
batting
qualified at
title.
bats, and yeah, of
But
course, but
but
still.
still, you should. Yeah, I'd like that to be even in this new era where it isn't that high. I mean, there should be like 10 or 11. Six is pretty low.
Right, and a couple of those looks like they're very close to possibly losing that because 301 for Springer and 302 for Guerrero, and Trey Turner's out for the season, so he'll finish at 305. So that's interesting. Another stat that's really interesting to me is RBIs because Kyle Schwarber has 127.
127 RBI in 150 games.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy. Alonso just hit like a big 3-run homer in the 10th inning last night to win the game. He's got 117 RBIs.
Yeah. And Alonso, Schwarber, that he's a free agent at the end of the year. But Alonso, remember, he finally reached unrestricted free agency last year,
Yeah, took a
and
1 year
he was out
contract.
there. Yeah, and he was out there going for like a big giant deal, and everyone's like, you've been kind of tailing off. You're kind of a lumbering first baseman. You're turning 30. Nah. And so he ends up going back to the Mets on a 1 year guarantee, but it has like the two player options, like a 3 year deal. Um, but yeah, I mean, now he's got 34 homers with 117 RBIs.
Yeah, he's
He's
basically
definitely
had a better
he's
year, a
definitely
higher
opting
average.
out.
Absolutely. I
He's
mean,
he's definitely opting out and going back into free
he's
agency.
opting out. Yeah, yeah, exactly right. He's going to go back in the free agent. Then Cal Raleigh with 115 RBIs is third. Suarez 109, Caminero 108, Green 108, Pascantino with 104. Look at that. That's an interesting. That snuck up on me. Vinny Pascantino.
I I do know that Vinny Pasquantino has he's been awesome for like a month, right? I bet you if you look at his splits,
Hold it, Steve.
his
Did you
since
realize he has 30 homers, 104 ribbies?
I did not know that.
I did not know that
I
too.
do know I would have guessed like I knew he was hot, super hot. I would have been like, I bet you he's up to like 22 homers and 80 RBI by now. That's what I would have
Wow.
said.
30. So his best season really coming into his own, and they were very high on him. It took a couple of years. He had good seasons, but he's having a great season. And then Devers with 102 and Judge with 102 are your leaders with 100, with Soto and 98 and Ward with 98 for the Angels, which is amazing. But Devers with 102 really turning it on. The Giants have been good, and Devers has been pretty good in that win streak. Not average wise, but he has 13 RBIs in the last 15 games.
Yeah, he has definitely those first 3 weeks were horrendous,
Oh my
but
God.
it seems like he's turned it around to some degree.
As have the Giants, and you know how it is. Hot bats, they're contagious. They really are. So I don't know if he got hot or the
Wh-
team got hot, but it's all working out for the Giants, and
Yeah,
they're still in the running of a
well,
wild card spot.
and Willie Adamas too has kind of picked it up over the past month, and he was horrible the first month or so.
Oh yeah,
So I mean, if you get Devers starting to be Devers and Willie Adamas going back to what he did with Milwaukee, I mean, if that happens at the same time, that's a huge boost to the lineup.
big boost. So they'll be getting some good pitching. Well, let's go to home runs because your guy up there in Seattle where you live just set, I think, did he beat or tie Mickey Mantle's switch hitting home run record? He now has 54 home runs, Cal Raleigh.
He tied it. He
Tied
tied
it,
the
tied it.
record. And I had mentioned that earlier in this podcast weeks ago, and I had misspoken. The previous record he broke of Mantle was like most multi homers,
Oh, gotcha. In a
most
game.
multi homers in most multi homer games in a season by a switch hitter.
Gotcha.
That's what he was.
Well, he's probably going to pass Mickey and become the all-time switch hitter in home runs for a season. He's got 54. Kyle Schwarber keeping pace almost with 52 home runs. Otani with 49. He's more than likely going to get to 50. Aaron Judge with 48. That's a good bet to get to 50. So you would have four
Yeah,
guys with 50. That's pretty impressive.
yeah, some big boppers for sure.
I mean, listen, Suarez had a four-homer game, didn't he, this year? So he could. He's at 45. Caminero, we talked about what a season he's having. He's at 44. And then Juan Soto with 40 home runs, actually having a great year. 40 homers, 32 stolen bases for Juan Soto with 98 ribbies,
Yeah, and an ops of 921.
114
I mean,
runs. That's
119 walks.
it's impressive.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
really, he's having a great season. I
I'm
know he's been given some bad press during the season, and sometimes the way he holds himself, I think people misrepresent, like he's not, putting all out effort. but great season for Soto in New York, to be honest with you. Just really great season. And real quick in runs, Otani has 135 runs, and he was way ahead. Judge has 123 runs in second, and Juan Soto in third with 114 runs scored.
Yeah, and I mean, Judge missed a few games, but not a lot. Now that I'm seeing, Otani's only played 6 more games, but 135, 123, 114, Schwarber 104. Yeah, Tatis. A respectable year for Fernando Tatis, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
22 homers, 30 stolen bases.
Yes. I would say a very respectable year. What you would expect out of him, having a great year. Good to see.
Yeah.
Good to see, actually. In a couple other wacky categories offensively, Juan Soto with 119 walks leads the major leagues. Aaron Judge with 109 walks. Devers with 104 walks. We talked about how that's way ahead of his season high before in his career.
Yep.
Otani with 103 walks and Schwarber with 102 walks. They could be the only ones over 100. We got some guys in their 90s, but that's a lot of walks. If you're walking 100 times, you're helping your team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those on base percentages, some of those. I mean, look at Judges. Judges is 448.
Oh, that is
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Wow.
That is nuts. You know? I mean,
448. That's just crazy, Steve. That's just crazy. Soto is at 395 and Guerrero at 396 and Guerrero at 395. 448 is his on base percentage. This is crazy.
you know, so just looking up and down that list of like say the top 20 walks guys, right?
Right.
The only one with an on base over 400 is Judge.
Yep. Yep.
There's nobody else.
Yep.
And just going all the way down the list. So if we sort by on base, is he the only guy with an on base over 400? He is.
Crazy. He's that good. I'm very pro Aaron Judge. He's very good. I
Yeah.
mean, there's this and one real
And
quick. If we're going to talk about walks, let's talk about strikeouts. Who leads the major leagues in strikeouts without looking?
I mean, it's got to be well now I maybe because he's cooled off in Seattle, is it Suarez?
It's James Woods. James Woods in his
James
second
Wood.
year. Hey, listen, he's batting 257, the sophomore, second year. He's got 27 homers, 88 ribbies, got 82 runs. He's got 15 stolen bases. Not a bad second year for a really bad team, but
Yeah.
he's
And
got
I think he's a
200.
kid. Like
He's like
I think he's one of the young guys, like
22.
22 maybe.
Yeah, yeah. His
Yeah.
first season was at 21, 205 strikeouts. So I'm thinking as he gets older, that might change. Riley Green, 185 strikeouts, 20 behind him. So Wood has really had a lot of strikeouts the last couple of months, I would say. And then Suarez at 176, McMahon at 176, and Schwarber, a great season at 176, and Devers with 175 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts. Arena 172 and Raleigh 171. That's a lot of strikeouts. That's a lot.
That is a lot of strikeouts.
I mean, listen, if you're having the kind
I
of season Schwarber or Raleigh's having, I mean, obviously you take that. But I mean, 205
yeah.
strikeouts. I gave you those stats. That's a good sophomore year for James Woods, but that's just way too many strikeouts.
And I don't like I mean they're playing and they're scoring runs, but just the fact that, Suarez, Raleigh, Rosarena, so three of the top eight strikeout guys are in the Mariners lineup. I
Yeah,
don't really like that.
that is interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, one of them was traded to the team.
True, but they're there now.
Yeah, they're
And
there
the
now, and
playoffs
they're
are
striking
coming.
out a lot. But hey, man, they're ahead in their division, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. In pitching stats, before we get off, you know, the best ERA is Skeens. Paul Skeens from Pittsburgh. He's the only one below two. He has a 1.92 ERA. He's really good, Steve. And the sad thing is, he's kind of getting wasted there in Pittsburgh. He is 10-9 now, though.
Yeah, 10-9. I mean, well, a lot of people are talking about him winning the National League Cy Young, and I guess it's probably going to happen, right?
Well, he's really good. He just hasn't got a lot of wins. His WHIP and his ERA are top three. ERA is first, obviously. He's just 10-9. He was like 6-8 or something. So he's won his last. I don't without looking. He's gone on a win streak, but to get it above 500, he's 10-9. But he is the best pitcher in the National League. He probably will win the Cy Young. Skubal at a 2.26, Brown at a 2.27, and then Sanchez for the Phillies, 2.57, and Crochet for the Red Sox at 2.63 ERA. Those are ERA leaders. And we talked about wins because I always find it an interesting old category that's kind of not as important as it used to be, but I love wins, Steve. Nobody's going to get 20 wins this year. Fried for the Yankees has 17. And then we got three guys with 16, Crochet, Peralta, and Rodon.
Yeah, and I think probably Crochet. I mean, Crochet probably has two starts,
Yeah.
and then they'll hopefully like this is when like they could get these starts, all these guys, but depending on how the things line up for the playoffs, teams are going to try to like rest guys,
Right.
So they
And all
might
four
even
of
come
those
in and
guys, all four of those guys are playoff teams.
yeah, and they even if they do come in for a third start, they literally could throw like 2 innings and then that'd
Yes.
be it.
Exactly. So Fried has a chance to get to 19. Crochet, Peralta, Rodon possibly get to 18. But wins just aren't as important. The game is different. The bull is all structured for bullpen. 6 inning pitchers are the norm. Strikeouts, though, your guy from the Red Sox, Crochet, 240 strikeouts. That's pretty impressive, Steve.
It is impressive in
191
this
innings,
era.
191.1. That's pretty impressive. 105 whip. What a great season he's having. Skubal for the Tigers, 224 in strikeouts. And then Webb for the Giants with 206, Skeens 203, and Cease with 201, and Luzardo with 200. Those all pitchers have more than 200 strikeouts. Pretty impressive. Guy we talked about before a few podcasts back is Logan Webb. Giants still in this run. He's having a great season, Steve. 14-10, 3.34 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 206 strikeouts, and 188 innings. It's just impressive. And
Yep.
we
You
year by year,
you've
31
mentioned
starts,
it before.
33, 33, 32. This guy's a workhorse. I hope he got a big contract.
He's a workhorse and he's consistent. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe he's never one of the top 5 pitchers in the game, but he's always one of the top 12 pitchers in the game for
Yeah,
like 5 years in a row.
I think that's safe to say. Absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
and then, let's talk about some other interesting wacky stats like innings pitched. Crochet 191. He will break 200 probably with two more starts. Webb with
yeah,
188.
2 starts. Yeah,
Webb at 188 is close to not. He could and should. But
yeah. I
they're
mean,
the
look.
only
So if
two
he
going to make
goes,
200. Schoolbot at 183 and Sanchez with 182. They're not going to make 200 innings. We're
well,
going to have
also
one or
too,
two.
Scooble over the weekend, he left his start because of side tightness.
Oh,
And I haven't read any update. I haven't seen anything yet this morning on Monday. But over the weekend, he got pulled from his start like in the 4th inning because of side tightness.
wow. That's not good for the
I mean,
Tigers
that
going
could.
into the playoffs. But they should have a bye, I think. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see if they
yeah,
can get
definitely.
rested up. Interesting categories in pitching categories are losses, Steve. I will give you $100 if you can just name one of the three players with the most losses, tied for the league lead with the most losses. First of all, what's the number most losses this season for a pitcher?
Well, we just talked about Skeens being 10-9.
Right.
So then I'm gonna say is the most losses 13?
15. 15 losses.
15.
There's
Oh
three
my
players
God.
with 15 losses, and
3 players.
yeah, and six with
How many
14.
starts have they
And
made?
six with 14, by the way. But three players with
Are you
15.
fucking kidding
I'm
me?
not kidding you. And I'll go through this list, this horrible list of losses. Can you name, for $100 of baseball money, can you name one of the three players, without looking, of course, who has 15 losses?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Is it I'll go with that Lopez guy on the Athletics.
No, he's not even a 14. I would have went with a Rockies guy because they've got two of them. They've,
Oh yeah,
they've,
I would have. Yeah,
yeah, you should have. Freeland. Freeland has 15 losses, and Senzatella has 15 losses. And the other pitcher with 15 losses is Mitchell Parker. And they're all Mitchell Parker has 30 starts with a 5.85 ERA. Freeland has 28 starts with a 4.97 ERA, and Sentazilla has 28 starts with a 6.84 ERA. So they've started a lot, and for the most part, they've pitched pretty bad all season. I guess you could say Freeland with the 4.97 ERA is the best, but his WHIP is 1.46. Three pitchers getting a lot of innings on bad teams pitching badly.
Yeah, I was looking, all of them, 145 innings, 158 innings,
And,
126.
and then
Yeah.
we just got through the list of six losses. Alexander for the White Sox, Gallen from the Diamondbacks, Gore from the Nationals, Keller from the Pirates. He's supposed to be good. 14 losses. Marquez from the Rockies and Palente from the Cardinals all have 14 losses this year.
The fact that Zach Gallen and Mackenzie Gore and Mitch Keller, but Mackenzie Gore and Zach Gallen with 14 losses, that is insane. I never would have guessed that.
I never would have guessed that.
And
Mackenzie
look,
Gore's season, though, listen, 4.14 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP, 177 strikeouts, and 152 innings. He's actually not pitching like a 14 loss pitcher. He's having a little better season than that. And Keller, here's a guy they were really high on coming the season, 4.13 ERA, even better, a 1.25 WHIP. Not as many strikeouts, but 14
yeah,
losses also. So those are two good pitchers. Greg Maddox once had 15 losses or something one year. Those are good pitchers having bad seasons.
yeah. And look at Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen with 11 and 14. So he's got
Wow.
25 decisions in 30 starts.
Wow.
That's pretty rare these days,
That
too.
is rare. 25 decisions in 30 starts. That is rare. Wow.
Yeah, it
Well, I
is.
guess he's pitching decently deep, and the games are close, or I don't know. That's very interesting. So I always find that interesting at the both ends of the spectrum. Who's doing really well? Who's doing really well? Not well. Real quick, can you name the league leader in home runs given up by a pitcher?
Well, I guess I'm going to take a Rocky, and I guess I'll go with Freeland now that I know he's pitched a lot of innings and he's been bad.
Very interesting enough, Steve. They're not even in the top 10. Littell for the Reds has given up 34 home runs. Irvin for the Nationals has given up 33 home runs. And Ober for the Twins, who they're very high on, he's given up 30 home runs. That's a lot of home runs given up. And the top Rocky, since you guessed him, I'm still paging down. What? Come on. Really? Look, I can't find a Rocky in the top 20.
That's insane. Oh,
Sentazella's
wow.
given up 22. Freeland's given up 21. And they're like, 28th and third and yeah, 28th and 39. So, wow, interesting. Those would have been my guesses too, but the good, the bad, and the ugly, the division races are tight, just a couple of them, but the wild card races are going to go down to the wire. I got some friends in Cleveland, so go Indians, sweep the Tigers. Come on, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'm
Come on, that
rooting
would
for
be so
Cleveland
great
over
if
that
they won
too.
all six games against them the next 2 weeks.
Oh my God, the city would be yeah, they'd be going crazy. The baseball fans would be going crazy.
And here's the thing: Detroit would still make the playoffs, probably,
Hmm.
probably.
Yeah, because they're not, well, yeah.
Yeah. without looking at the numbers, if you're losing six to the Indians, maybe not. So we got some great races going on. Major League Baseball, I just love it. Baseball, baseball, baseball. I'm Dan O'Day. That's Steve Romano. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Have a good one.